got it. He got it.
I mean, yeah, we could do some music.
Are you gonna put it in the video?
What you mean in the video?
Saying like edit it into the video.
Yeah. No, we can get some beats going if one of y'all want to connect to the speaker and play a beat.
You gotta be low. Yeah, you gonna use the same
Bluetooth
song.
device is ready to pair.
Are you
Bluetooth
gonna use
mode.
the same
Paula,
song?
figure it out.
Get them in the spot.
Paired successfully.
But yeah, so it's just a movement that I'm trying to start, and I'm trying to do, you know, help people come up, but also help myself come up. You get what I'm saying? And spread what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true. Plus, like, you have like a, how do I say it? Like a valued opinion. Like, I feel like a lot of people probably come to you. Like, as far as with me, a lot of people come to me for advice or how do I feel about things.
Right.
So, like, I feel like that's probably something we share. Because, like, people will always want you to have an answer. For real.
yeah, no cap. Like, when I be at work and people be talking about shit, they just be like, Kyrie, bro, what you think? How you feel about? And then, like, I don't watch, like, sports and shit like that. So, them type of conversations, I'm not really. But I know how to. But my thing is, I know how to take certain information that I've heard everybody else say. Like, I'll literally sit back and listen to what everybody else saying. And that information that they just told me,
You can form an
I
opinion.
can form an opinion based off of that.
Yeah.
That shit be like,
I can do that too, though.
And
I
I'll be
can
like-
do that too. And that shit crazy because, like, a lot of people don't got that, like, ability.
that ability or whatever. But yeah, so let me see. Let's get the topics and stuff going.
I like
You ready to do the intro? So you good? You ready?
Hold on, don't start
I'm gonna
yet.
try.
I'm trying to find a good beat.
Shit, I'm gonna try.
Okay. No,
That's your
shit
mom's
too
stuff?
short.
Yeah. My mom is she's certified transformation life coach. When she went to school, you know, she stayed with the honor roll, and she's also a life purpose coach. So she got a bunch of different
That makes sense, though.
different. She got another one right here. What's that one?
It's a certificate of completion.
Completion for she knows how to do. What did that say? Help me.
Girl, I mean not girl, but I can't read
Reiki master. She's a Reiki master. Something like she can form. She know how to make crystals and do stuff with crystals and some other shit.
Or
but-
something like this?
Yeah.
No, that's for basically therapy. Like she's certified to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We just naming her certifications. But yeah. So
We good now?
Not yet. I don't know what the fuck kind of beat to put on.
Put on some like smooth shit. Cause this when I be doing stuff like this, I put on like
Something
it's gonna
soothing.
sound corny as hell. I put on ocean waves in the background because that shit's like just help me flow. So just put on some like smooth shit. No 21 Savage, none of that shit. No like turned up shit. Like
yeah, we gonna keep this podcast mellow.
So I want some jazz.
They say humans are social animals. They can't live alone.
Not the talking.
yeah, shorty sound like a different kind of audio, dog.
I like that.
You know that's cool though. I
That's
fucks
a
with
vibe.
that.
That's a vibe.
That's cool.
That's a vibe. All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode of a Wave Podcast, also known as A Wise Ass View. I'm your host, Wise Kid. Here with me today is my homegirl from the VR, Lacey.
Juvie the motherfucking G on all social medias.
Y'all follow her, link her up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do. But happy to have you here today. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let me get a little bit more comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
I'm real happy to be here, for real.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So let's just get right into it. You know what I'm saying? So you know, 2020 was a crazy year. So what is some shit that like happened to you to like 2020 to me was like the year for a lot of people losing jobs and stuff. It was really the year for people to start thinking about being entrepreneurs. If you think about it, because a lot of people wasn't able to work. A lot of people like, I know me, I was out of work for like 2 months. And bro, when I tell you that was the longest and most stressful time, and it happened right when I had, you know what I'm saying, just didn't really have a lot of money and shit like that, so I didn't have nothing saved up or anything. So how was 2020 for you like?
2020, okay, so I definitely say it was a hard time period as far as financially. I think it definitely like woke up like the inner beast inside me, I'll say, like, because I've always been into business. I've always wanted to be my own boss, but like that kind of like drive kind of died in me when I was in school. And then when I finally like I got out of school early, and as far as like the pandemic and stuff, like it just kind of it showed me that like having one stream of income is not it's nothing that tells me now, oh, you should only have one stream. So like it definitely put me in a position where I mean people losing jobs, but also people like passing away, people losing people. So I might as well do what I want to do, start the business, because like if I don't, I may not ever do it.
Right.
So
like, even though we struggling and shit like this, instead of me sitting here worrying about struggling and shit, why not create something while I got this downtime?
right.
While I got this time where I'm not making any money and try to come up with it, because I'm not gonna make no money regardless if I sit here and do nothing or if I sit here and do something.
Yeah.
Until I try to do something and try to make money from it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was kind of my point in 2020. Like I had an idea, like my ideas don't change so much. I wanted to be a motivational speaker. I wanted to be a therapist. Like I was looking in schools and stuff, but you know, I'm struggling. I can't afford to go to and do school and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what can I do that's for free and help people and talk to people and be able to have conversations with people, something I love to do. And I always used to watch 85 South Show, and they would I always felt like they was talking to me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, how can I be that for somebody? You know what I'm saying? How can I make somebody feel like I'm talking to them? Like that's one of my goals for this podcast, is to make people feel like I can relate to them. I want it to be relatable, and I want it to be raw. You know what I'm saying? I really want to help people. So what can I do to help myself do what I love to do, which is talk to people? And that's how I came up with, you know what I'm saying, my podcast. It's just a different vibe, it's a different flow, and I'm on my own terms.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You're controlling your own hours.
Yeah.
Like we set a time, even though I was late, y'all. But we set a time that was good for both of us. And that's like, to me, time, there's like two things in life that's so important. That's time and that's understanding.
Yeah.
And just to touch on time, like, it's something you never ever get back. So it's like, why should I spend most of my life letting my time be dictated by another person or a corporation or a franchise?
They don't give a damn about me, really.
Yeah, like they don't care about my time. Like,
as long as I'm putting in the muscle and putting in the hours to do their work or whatever, but as soon as I'm unable to, they get rid of my ass, put me on a long ass leave with minimal money getting paid. And it's like, you have to deal with corporate America, their attitude and shit. Like, I'm a strong believer that time is money. So like, even with this right here, like, I feel as though like, when somebody comes to my podcast or comes to any podcast, it's really like they're paying you. Like, I feel like now that you're paying me because you're giving me your time, and time is money. So the time that you took out of your day to come and sit down and have this conversation with me really is, for right now, enough for me until I start making money and start doing stuff for this podcast.
Actual like monetary value.
Yeah.
But time, I definitely agree, because like, you're right. And then it works vice versa too. Yeah, I made the time for you, but you also made the time for me and considered me as
somebody that has something to say, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that has wisdom, knowledge, understanding, experience, and somebody that's out here doing something. You get what I'm saying? And somebody that has something to say. You get what I'm saying? Like for me, I know some of my biggest challenges when it comes to doing this podcast is marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how for you, like, has it been when it comes to like advertising your business, and to get, like, when you advertise your business, get people to come and do your taxes, which, by the way, you should speak on to them and tell them what you do when it comes to like taxes. Describe your business.
Okay, so basically for me, like, I like to call myself a Jill or like a Jackie Ina of all trades, because I'm a girl, I'm not a jack of all trades, I'm a Jackie Ina. But there's a lot of things I do. I'm multi-talented, I'd say. But the main thing I'm going to touch on today is that I prepare taxes. So basically, you know, for our people who aren't necessarily their own boss, or who do work for corporate America, I prepare their taxes that they take out of their check however often you get paid. Prepare that, get their tax return back from the government. So the hardest thing about marketing that is that I love what I do, but I'm not a showboaty person. So it's hard to like advertise a money return when you don't like posting money. Like, I don't like posting money. I don't
you
like.
don't want nobody counting what's in your pocket.
Yeah,
and shit,
like I don't like. And then on top of that, like, it's like I like to do it, but also I have a strong belief in money does not make the person. So. Of course, I have to post results. I have to post the things that get your attention, but it's hard when
that's not all you are.
Yeah, and I'm not really all that like that. Like, I can have $5 in my bank account. I can have 5,000. I'm not going to treat you differently because of how I'm living. So it's just hard because when I do post those things, for the most part, my clientele is good. I love my clients, but I attract some of the energy I don't necessarily like.
So with your clients, is it most people that you know, or is it people that you don't really know that hit you up?
Believe it or not, I'm gonna spill some tea. If you ever start a business, people you don't even know will support you before your closest people. I promise you that.
But I'm trying to tell you, like, I feel like I get more love on TikTok posting these, posting my snippets and stuff, because people on my Facebook, on my Snapchat and Instagram are all people that you follow and they follow you back. It's not nobody new. Mm-hmm. And I feel as though like they only support you when it's cool enough to support you.
Yeah, like when you're getting that hype, like I'll tell y'all a quick story. So like when I finally, because I've studied doing taxes for 2 years, and I did my close family for last year, but this year I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go full pro. I know what I'm doing. So honestly, my business wasn't even I thought I was just gonna make like $400 for my business. But once like I said, it just takes one person to really like share, like, subscribe, whatever you want to call it. It takes one person to promote it. Once that one person promoted it, my projected sales went from 400 to 2,500.
Damn.
And that's from people in Florida, Korea, Germany. Believe it or not, I have people out of the country, don't know me, never met me, but because of one good review, or like in your case, one share or one reply, it like can broadcast you so much farther. Yeah. And for some reason, people that are close to you, they don't want to take the chance on you. People that don't know me took a chance on me before my closest friends.
Like, I feel as though like they're comfortable where you're at. They comfortable seeing you struggling doing that because they struggling. Yeah. So when you try to do something to make and come out of the struggle, they like, nah. If she make it, then you know what I'm saying, I'll start supporting her. But I ain't finna start supporting something that everybody ain't gonna be supporting. People gonna be wondering why the hell I'm posting this and doing all this and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's just how I feel. Like on my TikTok, I posted 3 videos on there. Each one has gotten like almost 300 views and like a couple comments and stuff. And I've gotten like, right now I'm at 8 subscribers or whatever, but I get like both of my videos on YouTube are like 14 views or whatever. So it's starting off small, but I'm gaining like the traction. I just still haven't, like how you found, I still haven't found that one right person to like share it or whatever and get it out there. But
it comes.
It's coming.
Does come.
It comes with patience, you know what I'm saying?
It does.
So
and that's like one of the biggest problems with like, I think one of the biggest problems with our generation, and maybe the generation under, is that like, don't get me wrong, being an entrepreneur and having your own business or having your own thing you do is such a beautiful free thing. But I think a lot of us forget that like patience is a virtue. Like Rome was not the empire was not built in a day. Like, it takes time, it takes hard work, it takes making $2 in a day, and then the next week you make 2,000, or the next month, or the next year. Like, it
Small
definitely
gains.
takes, it takes time and like
Great rewards. You know,
Yeah.
just keep building on those gains. If this episode did, you know, it got me $200 for this episode. What can I do in this episode that can get me to $400?
Exactly.
If they like this type of content, if they like me having guests versus talking to by myself, okay, I need to start having more guests on. And they like the supporting, you know, Black-owned business episodes and stuff like that. What can I do to get more people?
What can you do to further that?
Get more people on my channel so I can do more episodes like that. Whatever's going to bring me money, but at the same time, like you said, money is not the end-all be-all. The end-all be-all is laughter, wisdom, knowledge, deep conversations, and for each person that comes on this podcast, including myself, to come up with a better understanding or a total different, a better opinion or view or understanding, or even a deeper one on whatever topic or whatever is being talked about. You know what I'm saying? I want somebody to take from this. You know what I'm saying? So that's really interesting. Like you said, I felt that even when I've done try to do like other little business ventures, and I opened up a Shopify store at one point. My Theo and Billy bought something from my store, but like everything that I was posting and stuff, like the Shopify store was fire. Like I had stuff that we buy regularly, but for cheaper prices. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't really take off too much. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really well known or did anything like that. I think I was still probably in damn high school or right after high school. So I was still trying to figure some shit out. So what made you even start doing taxes?
Believe it or not, like, it's gonna sound crazy, but like the way the whole tax preparer system is set up, professional preparers, I'm just gonna go on record and say they can drag me if they want. They charge y'all entirely too much. So they charge anywhere from, I've seen preparers charge anywhere from $300 to $700 to do things that someone like me could do for $100. So my flat rate is $100. I charge everybody $100. If you make under a certain income cap, it's just $50. I started doing it because, like, with my mom, she would have a great return back every year, but we went to a specific person and she wouldn't even get her state return because that preparer legally can take your state return as their payment.
Wow.
State returns can be $300, $400, $500. That's money people need in their pockets. So I did it as a way to just like help people save money and like just help people. That's kind of like my basis in everything I do.
So would you build on that and take it for like when you start gaining traction and stuff? Do you think about like you said, for people who don't make a certain amount, do you think you'll keep it at 100? But for people who do make a big amount, do you think you'll up your prices just because you got to eat out here too? You know what I'm saying? You can't. You think about people and you think about the people that like really need it. Like that's why like my grandmama used to always say, tell your story. So if you meet people and they tell you like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's up to you, and that's one of the good things that I like about your business is because you control how much you're willing to take from it. But the question is like, would you like for somebody like say you got a rich person, would there be a new minimum for that person just because you know you have to eat too, or would you keep it at $100 and just build your clientele that way? It's two ways to do it. You keep it at $100, you can get hella more, or you can charge in different tax brackets and make your money that way.
See, honestly, that's a question like. It's a good question because, like, I think about it all the time because I'm not gonna lie, I've done people's returns and I've seen people get $9,000 back and I've just charged them $100 because it's my first year. Everyone tells me, like, next year, charge more, or next year, go up on your prices. But honestly, I'm still in debate about that with myself because I do have to eat and it wouldn't kill someone to spare $200 or $175, but
because your time is money.
That's true, but at the same time I also started it at the root of like I just want to help people. So it's like it's something I debate back and forth with myself with a lot, but I'm not sure exactly. I know if you are making like over 10,000 though, yeah, I'ma up you, I ain't gonna lie. But it's just like, it's all in the process. Because, I mean, if you make, let's say you get $400 back, I'm not taking like 50 from that. I'll take like 30. So I'll just try to be a income-based person, because I really have seen preparers charge, let's say you get 900 back, preparer charge you a third, 350. That's crazy. So I don't know. It's up in the air, like Carmen outside, for real.
So like when tax season is over, what do you plan on? Like, do you have any other things going for like when tax season is over with, or like different business ventures that you're starting and stuff?
Yes, actually, I'm gonna do a shameless self plug. Like I said, I'm a Jackie on all trades. Like, I do a lot of things. So I have a couple of business ideas going and concepts. I do have, not to jack your style, but I do have a podcast that is coming with one of my longtime friends, 5 years, best friends, no filter, honestly, just real life stuff we regularly talk about, but we're bringing the world in on our real life conversations.
Facts.
So that's one thing we have coming.
Definitely let me know when that's up and going.
We're gonna have some features on there too.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But I have that one coming. I have a YouTube of my own coming, which is just like, it's just gonna be content of my own. I'm a very creative person. I like painting. I like making looks. I'm honestly working towards getting my tattoo license. So
okay, yes sir.
Yeah, so I'm a real creative person.
Is
I
a
know.
famous tattoo artist in Philly now. I'm telling you, she can. Y'all can
Famous
sit down
down here too. I know.
You can start your podcast and invite my mama. I'm telling you, she can help you or whatever. Or if you want to do it privately, sit down with my mama and talk to her. She'll give you some good ideas, some good ways to go, and some different equipment that's best for you. I'll hook that up for you. I got you.
Definitely. So, just to recap, I have the podcast coming. I have just a personal YouTube. It's not gonna be with anybody else. It's just gonna be like, I'm gonna call it Files of a Juvenile, just cause like.
Oh, that shit hard.
Yeah, it's just gonna be, it's either Files of a Juvenile or it's Juvenile Files. Either way it goes, I'm gonna call it that. Definitely invested into doing tattoos. Definitely just like, I create.
She gonna be a mogul out here, y'all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's the thing. Like for me, for my podcast isn't gonna be just it. Like I wanna branch out, like do film, like do short movies.
Yeah.
I want to have like an ad agency, like where people pay us. Like that's like each person that I help, I want them to have an end goal. Like for my sister who's gonna help me with my ads, I want to help her if she wants to, through my platform, create a whole ad agency where people pay her to do ads for them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and honestly,
like,
you can do
my cousin
that.
trying to do a store. Like it can start off as he just opened a store for like the merchandise for the podcast, and then branch out and do his own store. You get what I'm saying? And his store will get traction because people be like, yo, that's a dope ass. He the creator of the merch that's on a Wise Ass View podcast. That shit hard.
And then when you do your podcast, obviously we don't have the merch on now, but you will see us in the merch. That's another way to, if you do start a business, I highly recommend getting yourself into like merch or getting yourself into something you can sell to your supporters. People want to rep your set. Like they really do. But if you have no product to give, then it can kind of make it hard to be a part of this or a part of that. So merch is coming for, believe it or not, my own podcast as well. So merch is definitely something that if you start anything, definitely get into it.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So like in the beginning, I know, did you, like how you said you only had like maybe like 400 and stuff like that. Was there at any point where you were almost gonna give up and just be like, this is not, I'm just gonna keep it as doing my family's taxes, I'm gonna stop trying to do other people's because I'm not getting like making as much money, or I'm not getting as many clientele as I want to at this stage? Was there ever like a stage for you where you thought about maybe like, my time could be better invested in something else? Or maybe invested in one of your other business ventures more?
Yeah, I should pursue something else. So I know it's gonna sound a little iffy, but like, just hear me out. I haven't ever felt like that. And why haven't I ever felt like that? Because like, maybe if you would have asked me this question and I was like 16 when y'all first met me, Maybe I could have said yeah, but now I'm at an age and a point in my life where I have faith in everything I do. So every single thing I do, because I know I'm moving consciously and I know I'm moving in the right, I take a lot of time to think about my decisions before I do them. So I'm very confident in my decisions. So I never have felt like, oh, well, you know, I ain't gonna do this tax shit no more, or I'm just keep it family only. I never felt like that because I know, like I said, I have a good understanding of having faith in the process. Everything takes time, like everything. So I haven't really felt like that. I haven't gotten to a giving up point. I've definitely gotten to frustrating points or points where, because I deal with people, and it can be a beautiful thing or it can be a scary thing. So I haven't got to that point of feeling like I'm gonna give up. So yeah.
For me, not for my podcast, but definitely for other like business.
Yeah, for other businesses, yeah.
For my other businesses and stuff that I've had, like even for my Shopify store and shit, I've felt like that. I've also had times to where, like, even with my podcast though, like I feel like you know, I'm not getting the amount of support that I really would like or think that I should have at this point. I've gotten to that point, but I've never let it stop me. You know, I've never, you know what I'm saying, let anybody dictate how I'm feeling or what I'm with my podcast, or should I do a podcast? Should I keep uploading these episodes? I haven't let nobody dictate that. I've actually gotten good feedback from the people around me. You know, shout out to Terrence, and shout out to Kim. Shout out to you, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my guy ATL Mike from Instagram. Of course, my family and people that surround me now.
Your circle.
Yeah, my circle. And shout out to Carter, because like Carter, I was sitting with this guy, one of my friends, Carter, at work and whatever. We went to go grab some lunch one day, and we were just talking, and he's got a lot of business ventures and stuff that he's working on or whatever. And he's the one that really pushed me to do my podcast, honestly. So I remember just calling her and be like, this is what I'm finna do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do it, and we're gonna see how it goes.
Right.
You know, I just really got pumped. I really got inspired by talking to Carter, talking to Terrence, talking to Ree, just talking to a bunch of people at my job, and then especially talking to Pops when, you know, he told me, like he said, like, you're destined for great things. So I took that as, you know what I'm saying, I need to go out here and figure out what's my purpose, what's my life. You know what I'm saying? I still work at Amazon, of course, but
yeah, I still work a 9
eventually,
to 5 too.
yeah, facts.
Definitely.
Still working a 9 to 5. But I feel as though like I'm trying to branch out from my 9 to 5. I want this podcast to be something full time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm even thinking about taking maybe a week or so off of my job after my taxes and pump videos and grind, wake my ass up every morning. That's why I posted the document for people to sign up and want to be on the episode and stuff like that. Just for the people that I know to see if they want to come on. But I think I'm really just gonna start waking up and going out here and, you know what I'm saying, and spreading my podcast, getting like handing out things. Hey man, check out my podcast.
Yes.
And those viewers and stuff, those viewers and stuff that I do get, I'll try to invite some of them on and do it like that. But so these are just some different and cool business ideas I got going right now. So we finna take a little break. Yeah,
like I'm not trying to ask too much.
We'll be back.
That's on God, nigga. That's on God, nigga. That's on Billy. You literally try white, bitch. Try white. What you about to do, bro? Watch some porn. Hey, keep your motherfucking hands open. Get your motherfucking bullshit. Blood. Nigga,
that we're on. So basically, to recap, we were talking about, you know, just the different businesses and shit that we might have on the outside of this podcast.
We got some things coming.
We got some things coming, different merch and shit.
Might have some Juvie X Kyrie stuff. You don't know. You never know.
It's the wave. You know what I'm saying? She was telling me what motivates her to, you know, keep going and doing this despite any negativity that comes. You know what I'm saying? So what is the long-term goal for any of your businesses? Like, what is the long-term goal for your tax business, your podcast, even your personal YouTube channel? Like, what do you feel as though will get you, when you get to that point, you'll be like, okay, like, this is doing exactly what I wanted to do. I can now just do what I want to do. If you understand what I'm saying. Like,
I understand. I think my point is like, it's gonna sound so like materialistic, but I don't care. I don't want to work. Like, I want to get to a point where my work is my creative, artistic intelligence. I don't want to do hardcore, heavy duty work anymore. I don't. Also, but I will say, to give a more of like, in my heart, a personal answer, my goal has been this since I was like 15. I want to retire my parents at an early age. I really do.
that's what's up.
Once my mother and my father, well, I'm getting my mother first. I'm gonna circle back for my dad.
On God,
But-
on God, on
But-
God, on baby.
I'm gonna get my mama first, but once my mom, cause like my mom is a hard worker, has always been a hard worker. She's been working for like 20 plus years nonstop, and like even now, like my mom just finished doing a 7-day week. She's at work today on her 7th day. So
Where she work at?
she works for a warehouse that, I can't say the name, but she works for a warehouse that makes and creates the cakes you see in Walmart.
Oh, okay.
So
I know what you're talking about. I ain't gonna say it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I know exactly, because I almost had a job with them.
I worked there personally, and after a month, I could not do it. And that's when I started doing taxes, believe it or not. I left.
Hey.
Okay, so I left because they wanted me to start doing, I already did I worked at nights, 6 nights a week. Then they wanted to
So I
up it
work
to
now at
7.
Amazon.
Yeah,
4 nights though.
they wanted to up it to 7, and then they wanted us to do 12-hour shifts within those 6-day weeks. So like, you do 6 to 7 days a week, anywhere from 1 to 3 of those days would be 12-hour shifts. So I got to a point where I was just like, man, I'm giving all this time into another man when I can put it into a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, and
But
the government taking all your shit out. That's why she did them taxes. She tired of y'all motherfuckers taking money from her. There you
Facts.
go. You know what I'm saying? You definitely
Facts.
have me as a client from now on. You know what I'm saying? I normally get my taxes done with my mama. So that's why I didn't even think about coming to you. But you definitely have me as a client, you know, supporting black businesses. I think the long-term goal for my podcast is basically like what I was saying earlier, when I can hear somebody say, I relate to him. I relate to
I
what he's
see
saying. I
myself
see
in
myself. I feel like he's talking to me. That to me would be my minimal, like, hoorah. Like that's not gonna be the finish, but that's where
that's gonna be where you finally take that breath of like, I'm doing
something.
I have my purpose.
Like, I don't care if only Georgia, all of Georgia listens to my podcast. You know what I'm saying? That community, those people, my family in Philly, those people who I know, you know what I'm saying, in different places, different jobs and different things. If I just have those people, and I have an audience that tunes into me every time, responds to some of the stuff I say, because I don't want somebody agreeing with me all the time. I want people who have different opinions, tell me, nah, I think you should, this, and that. Somebody that I can bring on the podcast and say, I feel like this, and this, and you feel like this, and this. Let's talk about it. You get what I'm saying?
I think that's why I like the dynamic of, because if y'all don't know, me, Kyrie, Twin, Quan, Twinity, we all go back like A-Track. We go back so far.
We go back like 4 flat tires.
Yeah. Yeah. So we go back really far, and I like the dynamic. This is just like a compliment to y'all. I like the dynamic of us because yes, we're like-minded, but we're seeing things. You're seeing things through a male lens, and I'm seeing things through a female lens. You're seeing things through a Philly lens. I'm seeing things from a New Orleans lens. Like, it provides a different opinion or a different experience.
And this ain't men take on the world type shit. It's sharing different point of views, but women, it's time for like I'm happy to see our black queens out here taking over and doing shit. You get it's about damn time.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Y'all deserve more than what y'all are making or getting now. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got women doing the same job as men and getting paid different for it. That shit's crazy.
That shit's crazy. And people don't think it exists because honestly, you will hear a lot of people around our age saying it doesn't exist. It does. You have to get to corporate America to see it.
Facts.
Obviously, because like I said, we all worked the same job before. So
Yeah,
we
bro. We was all at McDonald's.
Yeah. So if y'all want to talk about humble motherfucking beginnings,
McDonald's.
we all met at McDonald's.
Flipping pack. I was back there busting my ass in the goddamn kitchen, goddamn cook. But
Man.
me, Chan, Rika, Dan, all of us.
Shout out Dan.
Bro,
Dan
we was
been
back
moving
there.
himself up in the world. Shout out Dan.
Yeah, Dan has been doing some big things, but definitely we was all back there in the kitchen just trying to get them burgers and shit out. 200 cheeseburgers, we gone.
Oh God, we got those.
We got
type
the
of
girls
orders.
up there in the front making sure the food getting out.
Twin was my runner, and I was in the motherfucking window, and we was killing shit. But to say, it goes to say though, I think we're all moving in the right direction. That
Right.
none of us have gone back. Like I got my certification from them. Left.
Yep. I left, went to work at Walmart. Walmart didn't work out. Went to work at StockX. That shit didn't work out.
You worked at StockX?
Yeah,
I worked at StockX.
Yeah, I worked at
I
StockX.
fucking worked at StockX. When you
But
worked there?
I worked there for like 3 months, I think June through August. But there was this woman there, I ain't even gonna say no name, cause I don't speak no bad. But
It's fine.
she got me fired because she didn't like that I wasn't none of them chums in the building. Like, you're not
Wait.
gonna talk to me.
Is she? Or
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and then this new dude named Matt came.
I know Matt.
Yeah, and Matt, like,
I
she knew all the big bosses, so whatever, they finally turned her into like a captain or some shit. And she came in and she just started being like, she was already rude. Like, I opened the door, held the door for her one day, bro. Like, not just for her, but for a bunch of people. So I let them in. And I was like, no, they let me in. That's what happened. She let me in and I was like, appreciate it. And she was like, oh, I didn't do this shit for you. I just was coming outside.
Yeah, and you know what? She ain't the only one there. I don't know what it is about that warehouse. A lot of them motherfuckers had some attitude.
But attitudes, problems, you know what I'm saying?
But
Them
yeah,
motherfuckers-
and if Max, if you ever
StockX, y'all
see
cool
this,
as hell, but it's just y'all workers. You know what I'm saying?
But I will say inbound. Do you know inbound?
I was in
outbound?
inbound,
I was
outbound.
in inbound.
You know the,
inbound was cool as fuck.
You know the
Those
system
was
that
my
they had
niggas.
for where to put the boxes at to date, like how they had the order of the boxes.
Hell yeah. You was
I
on that
created
line.
that.
You was on that line too,
I
huh?
created the sorting center. How the trucks come in, what goes to the tables to get open, what gets to the processors, what goes to the authenticators. What in that order, I created that system. Me and I think my man D. Me and him and E-Man. Or E. I don't think we call him E-Man. E. We created that system. Because I knew another guy that I used to call E-Man at Amazon. Shout out to him. But we created that system in there. I did inbound, outbound. I processed the shoes out, putting, you know what I'm saying, checking the shoes, checking the barcode, you know what I'm saying, put the little sticker in it and slide it down the line. I did all of that shit. Shout out to Tyrion. That's one goofy ass nigga that I used to work with. That nigga used to keep me rolling.
I can't
But,
shout out nobody because y'all, wait, before I say this, you know what? Shout out Jasmine, shout out Alicia, and if you knew you was my slime, you was my slime. Don't take this shit to heart. Fuck everybody else. Y'all was rude as fuck.
No
like,
cap. No cap.
y'all was rude.
But
But it's a brand though. Y'all brand cool as fuck.
y'all brand lit as hell. We just
y'all
don't focus on y'all people.
y'all
We just don't focus on y'all people.
Do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like she literally like came to the table and told me like, I pay y'all, so if I don't need y'all, what the hell I'm gonna pay y'all for? If y'all not doing what I want y'all to do, what the hell I'm gonna pay y'all for?
Were you temp?
Yeah.
Temp.
But I was temp getting ready. They had me doing damn like captain and shit work like this, telling people what to do, creating the whole system, sending me to other buildings and shit. You know, they told me I'm getting ready to promote you and all of this shit. They just told me, you know what I'm saying, as soon as you come from temp or whatever, we're gonna promote you. The week before I got from temp, they fired me because me and her got into it. And she knew the director and shit. And so when I told the director that she was talking reckless to me and a bunch of other people, I guess he was like, well, you know, how he'd say he brought this accusation to me, what you want to do with him. And plus, like, how they was working, like, it was slow. So I would be moving from the process table to go help, what did we call them? If you got streetwear, yeah, streetwear. I would go over there and help streetwear.
I hated streetwear.
I would go over there and help streetwear, but then I would go to the other table and do some other stuff for streetwear. So she just didn't like that I was moving around. I was not running shit by them. I'm like, I'm just gonna go help them out. What I gotta keep coming. Plus, they was all in meetings, so it wasn't like I couldn't go talk to somebody.
In a meeting, dog.
There was nobody out there to dictate where for me to go. Hey, I'm finna go over and help them. Okay? They literally fired me because I didn't check in with them. Plus, I snitched on her that she was being rude.
But you know, I ain't even gonna lie. This is how you know me and Kyrie is similar, because we have not talked about stock base at all. I was the same goddamn way. I didn't want to stay in no one fucking spot. And that's one of my biggest damn problems with working a job. I'm such a like free range
Shout out to
person.
Amazon. I'm on the OP all the time. I'll be moving.
Hey, look, I work at Walmart right now. Them niggas is cool. So when I'm talking about jobs, I'm not talking about
You work
Walmart.
at the Walmart at Villa Rica?
Dallas.
Oh,
I live in Dallas now. I don't even stay in Villa Rica.
You ain't even in River Trace no more.
Thank God. In our house, we got a bigger house
I heard
too.
that nigga Keon was moving from there. Somebody, because my brother Malik was staying with him. I heard he getting ready to go to Colorado or some shit like that. So I'm just happy my brother home or whatever. I don't really fuck with that nigga like that. But
we gonna speak on that.
Right, facts. So, like, what in your tax business, like, are you doing it everything by yourself, or do like you're like how I have different people doing different stuff for me and my family that helps me with this podcast? Like, does Dwayne or your mom like help you with your taxes? Like, do with the taxes? Like, do one of them bringing you the client, or is everything just really you right now? And you haven't really assembled a team.
Not to get on a sad note, I guess, but
Yeah.
I will say it is just me. And honestly, like I said, shout out to my mom. She's just a hard worker. She can't always be around to help me.
Facts.
But my mom has, I would say, the only help I have gotten is my mom taught me about, like, my mom knows a lot about taxes. So she taught me that growing up.
So she helped you with the knowledge.
Yeah, the startup.
You put her knowledge and stuff that's what the fuck that's who this fucking podcast is for. Motherfuckers who parents or anybody teaches somebody and you use that knowledge and wisdom and understanding to
further yourself.
Man.
Right.
Bro, you just touched on some good shit. That's who this podcast is for. That's what this podcast is about.
For real. Like my mom, I ain't gonna lie, we've had our issues, but my mom really gave me the game for real. Like she's giving me so much free game to the point it's like
you think you owe her to pay her. Like
yeah,
no cap, that's how I feel about my mama. Like my mama's done taught me a whole lot of shit. My grandmama, my aunt, like I've gotten a lot of wisdom to where if I do come up, I gotta pay them. Like they well overdue. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like the knowledge and conversations that I've had from my cousins, from a very special person. You know what I'm saying? From even my sister. I'm talking about Janaea. Just the knowledge and conversations that we've had, like us four, we would literally sit in the living room and just talk about wild ass shit all night. Some shit that even get me in trouble.
Y'all need to invite me.
You know what I'm saying? So
y'all see how I'm never here for this? This is fake.
Y'all gonna see more, huh? You feel me?
But I do want to touch on that's the only help I've gotten. So at one point, and this is not to shade my brother at all. This is not to come from my brother at all. I love my brother, but I was using his laptop. I didn't have my own laptop to do it, and it's so hard. Anybody that does taxes, if y'all watching, it's hard as fuck to do that shit on the phone. I hate doing that shit on the phone.
This laptop right here, that's my mama laptop. That's my shit right there, okay? So, my mama's supporting me and supporting the wave by letting me use her laptop. So you gotta start when you gotta do what you gotta do.
But here's the difference. My brother, he is a very possessive person. So, like, he would take his laptop, or he'd be upset that I'm always using it. And that was my, especially because I had lost my job. That was my way of money at the time. So.
Get the fuck out! Fuck wrong with you? Fucking tired of this shit. Oh, touch me again, I'ma Fortnite your ass, nigga. That's on God. Fuck wrong with you? Did you say you gonna Fortnite her? How? The fucking light on.
Himself hasn't actually helped because he'll take it from me. So that's when I got enough money, when I got my first $500, I bought a laptop. Like, I bought one for myself off the bat. Because I can't get mad at somebody for their own possessions, but you know what I can do? I can go get my own.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the process I'm making, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm the pod. Like for me, like I said, I'm gonna have a full time right here and I'm gonna go away from these type of mics and go into, you know, mics that people can put on themselves and people can sit and be comfortable. Like how you probably with the pillow, you probably want to be slouching, you know what I'm saying, chilling, vibing on the futon or whatever. And of course, I'll stay in the chair, you know what I'm saying, so that way my guests can have the comfortability. And that's just how it's gonna be. And you know, eventually move into a bigger space so I can have more and more guests. But it's just a lot of different shit in the works. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like we don't came far from flipping burgers and
oh God, and like y'all want to talk about humble beginnings?
Dealing with fucked up ass men. Was you there that night when me and Mark got into it because he made Janasia cry?
Yes,
was you
I
there?
remember. I remember so like if y'all hop in the motherfucking comments if y'all want to hear that, and it's gonna be all of us, even the motherfuckers in the back room right now. If y'all want to hear McDonald's horror stories, we got that for
horror.
you.
Emphasis on the word
I'm talking
horror.
about so much shit has happened. Even like after y'all left,
I can only imagine.
Some shit happened, man. I didn't almost beat a bitch the fuck up.
Like Janasia went to work at Lee Road, but when I tell you that shit was stinking so goddamn bad, man, I didn't know.
Lee
I'm
Road
like, how the hell? I'm so happy Dan was in management of that shit. Dan put Lee Road back up to where it needed to be, no cap, because he was working down there. Dan did this motherfucking thing, you know what I'm saying?
Big props to Dan. Dan is a real ass.
Yeah, he was over the one in Villa Rica, and then they was treating that nigga wrong as hell.
They were, and honestly, Dan is definitely somebody to get on the podcast.
Because we went through a lot of fucking man.
Dan was our boss.
Was it Tamika?
For a while.
Was it Tamika that was our first boss?
Child, remember Tamika?
Yeah, and her husband or her boy. I don't know if they're together now, but yeah. I remember X and Rika. I think X and them still work up there.
X don't, but Rika's up there.
Yeah, shout out to Rika, man. She was I remember.
Rika had COVID recently.
Damn.
Yeah, I prayed for her. She's good now, but
she was there
recently.
She was there when Janasia, when her parents and shit came up. We had that whole big fiasco. Yeah, Rika was there. Dwayne was there too.
Let me tell y'all, we really was a family in that motherfucker. My brother worked there too. My brother knew Kyrie before I knew Kyrie.
Facts. Shout out to Dwayne.
Shout out to Wayne. He just dropped me off. He was wanting to come inside, but he had some things he wanted to do. I was like, man, he could come on here.
He can come on the next episode. You know, this ain't the. He can definitely come on the next episode and hop on the next wave.
Yeah.
But yeah, we done came from a lot of goddamn long ass way.
We accepted bullshit pay. We accepted bullshit treatment. We used to go on break and complain and say we was gonna motherfucking quit on the break, go clock back in. Like,
when all the managers and shit went home, I don't work there no more, so fuck y'all. But we turned that motherfucker up, boy. If y'all go back and watch them cameras, but we was in Snapchat.
I'm talking about, man.
And back cash. Bro, I remember motherfuckers, we used to go back there, make us something to eat, go back into the window, eat, take orders, goddamn, sit at the window. They be like, move. What was Mark's favorite shit to say? If you don't have it, park it.
Oh, God.
But we was not parking shit, but we was having conversations with motherfuckers. We tell motherfuckers the milkshake machine was down. The same shit that McDonald's do, that shit don't be down.
We just don't be fucking
doing it.
It don't be down. This is the real tea of the video.
We be wanting to clean. We
be wanting to, oh God, we be wanting to push the line. So we be saying that shit is down. That shit just don't be clean.
Right.
At all, bruh. But yeah, honestly, we done came a long way, and we still got a way to go. But I'm hella glad
So yeah, but the McDonald's, like growing up and actually working together at McDonald's, we formed a lot of deep connections and shit with each other. And it was just like the stories and shit that we could tell y'all that done took place there.
The stuff we've seen,
Yeah.
done, experienced is like,
That shit is
it's crazy.
It's mad wild. Like the y'all probably won't believe this shit, but like when it came down to like productivity and shit like that, they don't give a damn about you. Bruh, they literally care about getting them burgers and shit out and everything. Like we had times where like the managers would get pissed because we back slammed and shit. And
then it's only 2 people in the
it's only
kitchen.
2 people. The
and
manager will kick.
lines wrapped around.
Then the manager will kick everybody out. I'll take care of this shit myself. Let's get this, bro. When I tell you that, the quality over quantity is
crazy.
true. It's true.
It's
They
crazy.
would fuck up so many sandwiches trying to push out.
Just trying to clear the line to have the fastest drive-through time.
Just for them, the other people to come back and say this is not how I wanted my sandwich. So now we have to start and redo all those fucking orders.
And that's where the heavy, like, if anybody working at McDonald's, anybody working any fast food, you know how heavy the waste is. Cause
oh yeah, especially because we wasn't helping there because we were eating on the clock too.
Oh
so.
yeah, we used to be tearing that shit up. I used to eat nuggets and mac sauce, y'all, and them bitches used
Nuggets
to be
and
good.
spicy buffalo for me, bro. That shit used
You
to
know,
be
a spicy
fun.
buffalo hit, bro. But yeah, so as far as with McDonald's, that's where we all met, and that's where we all formed these like just cool ass connections type shit. And honestly, my biggest takeaway from working at McDonald's really is to like, don't be no shy motherfucker. Make friends, cause like y'all see how far it's stretched now. What? When did y'all leave? Like 3-4 years ago. 4 years later, we're still here. You know,
we still connected. We still everybody just really been. And there's not. I feel like there's nothing wrong with people branching off, even if that we haven't like communicated in a long time.
Yeah.
We're still close. Like me, Lacey, Janae Kwan, we're all still close with each other. We
all still care about each other.
Everybody been doing their own thing, and life has taken many of us different places. Like today, I was just on Instagram Live. Shout out to Terrence. This guy, he's not a kid no more. This man, he was a kid when we was in middle school. I went to Emmett Middle. I was, right there in Atlanta. The school that you go to from there is Grady, so that gives you some perspective of where it's at. But I went to Emmett Middle, and Terrence, when I went there, I stayed on Boulevard. Like I literally went for my homecoming or wherever that shit was. I had to take a taxi. We didn't have no car, none of that shit. He brought me home when I went to my sister Shania, her little birthday thing down there in middle school type shit. He went and took me. He brought me back home. You know what I'm saying? And so shout out to him. Like we just recently connected back on. He told me he saw my video and my podcast. Told me to keep up the shit. And you know what I'm saying? So we all still like, even people that you don't know from years and years or haven't talked to for years. If they really fuck with you, they still gonna follow you and support you even from a distance. You know what I'm saying?
And y'all will find
and y'all way back to each other. No cap.
So,
even if only a short time.
Yeah, to the younger viewers, because this is a concept. It took me a long time to understand. It also took me to graduate to understand. Like, just because you're not talking with somebody every day, like that shit is not no personal issue to you at all. Honestly. Just having that understanding of like, people be busy. Like, we all got separate jobs in this motherfucker. I'm surprised we was able to make this time. But it's like, you just have to understand and respect that even though we are part of each other's lives, we aren't the entire life. Everyone has a separate life.
And I feel like for me, like today I'm supposed to go to work, you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be at work at Amazon, you know what I'm saying? I put in vacation time. So if anybody's seen this podcast, I put in vacation time. So
periods.
I feel like in order to like we said earlier, like time is money. So me wanting to have this episode and do this episode of this podcast with you is my money. I took a day off from my job, my regular job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I use vacation time to cover it, but
not everybody has
time
that.
is money. So me spending this time with you and getting this conversation going, that to me is paying me more than I felt like today would have paid me. Like I don't feel like I would have got nothing out of, like I learned a lot just working. The knowledge and stuff that we've shared with each other, and hopefully done share to our many viewers and stuff, or even just the viewers that I have now. I feel like that is more important than the $150 I would have made at the end of the night.
Yeah, it has more value because at the end of the day, money is monetary. Like
yeah, and this is what I want to do. I have to put my time, which is money, into my craft in order for my craft to make money.
Exactly, and that's the part that sucks about being an entrepreneur is because when you're just now coming up, unless you got a big fat trust fund, you have to work a job to fuel your dreams. But
you have to take risks.
You got to take risks from that job too. It's an everlasting battle until you finally get to the point where you can let that one job go and what you're doing can branch on your own. Like it's an ongoing battle, but if you're going through that battle, because we still do, like we still do. Time is definitely money though, and time is an investment too. That's why, like, I've definitely changed what I do on my everyday routine. For the most part, I wake up early, I get my day started, and I'm not lounging around. I'm not, like, I definitely enjoy TikTok and stuff like that, but I'm not on TikTok for 3, 4, 5 hours. Mm-hmm. You can enjoy something, but the consumption of it really can take up your time.
And that's even with working.
So, yeah.
Like you're enjoying working because they're paying you. You might not enjoy the work, but you're enjoying the pay that comes from it. So you let your job and stuff like that you don't really like take up all your time and your energy, and you get, like you said, consumed into it.
Yes.
And it stops you from doing the great things that you might be destined for. You get what I'm saying?
That's why I feel like in the pandemic, when I was able to have that time to myself, that's when I really blossomed as a person and as a business owner, because I finally just had some time to take away to be like, okay, what do I want to do?
She had to take it. None of that time was given to her. Nobody paid her to take her time and do what she wanted to do. She had to literally sacrifice and do stuff. Like that's for the people out there, you know what I'm saying? Like you collecting unemployment and stuff. Like I really like my bills are more than my unemployment can pay. My unemployment would pay to me. But those people who actually took that time and even are taking a little bit of money and are out there grinding, like shout out to my cousin. He, took that time and invested his money and he's building on a shop. He's cell phones and selling different stuff. So I really like, to me, those people who have done that, that's really what some of those people who have inspired me to do this. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not about the money. It's about what can I do to start my own business to where it can make money for me. I want to make money while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I want to make money. The money, when I start making money when I'm sleeping, meaning I'm not doing shit, or I can make money.
Your investments and your dividends are giving you that ability
big girl
to
word.
pay you.
Okay, yes, sir.
Like, for real. Like, you speaking some real shit. When you are making money while you're asleep, it's like,
that shit is like.
I didn't even hear what he said, but yeah, when you're making money, when you're there.
The nigga talking about passive income.
Yeah. Passive income.
That's what we're looking for.
Just said.
Yeah, appreciate you, my boy.
Once you're doing that while you're asleep, I feel like that's another milestone you hit. But like I said, when you're back against the wall, your true character really does come out, because the whole like somebody
you at the wall. You on your back. You at the, and you can't go no further. Only way is up.
Exactly.
And like they say, when it's up, it's stuck. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get it up and make sure that motherfucker stays stuck. And if it don't stay stuck, at least it's elevating to a different point that's gonna be greater monetary value. I just want to meet people, like reconnect with some of my old friends and family, but I also want to meet new people. Like I said, so if you know anybody, like you said, like Marijuana, Dwayne, anybody who I haven't really, like Dwayne, I know him, like me and him have had conversations.
Right.
But like anybody like Marijuana or anybody who follow her or anything like that, if they want to come on the web, I'd love to hear different point of views. Like hopefully I got two more
Yes.
people who have booked to come on my show and do an episode or whatever. So, you know, shout out to C2, shout out to ATL Mike.
And you got more coming soon.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And
coming.
I want to do like, and I also want to do like to where like once you take off and once your other businesses start coming, come back on the episode and tell people how you how you were just a couple months ago when you came on my podcast the first time to where you are now. You started your podcast is up and thriving. You done made hella money doing taxes. Like, come back and share that, because when you do that, and actually when you get there, you have different knowledge and wisdom and ways to provide. So it won't be the same shit when you come back on. You can, well, I've been doing this shit for a while and it finally got me here. Here are the different things that I lost, gained. Yeah. And different shit for people to try, most definitely. So
shit, honestly, to sum it up, he want to see my growth.
Facts.
And I want to see his growth, because as he meets,
excellency, man.
Telling you, especially black women. I got my woman shirt on, for real.
I can't stand a motherfucker that I hate on the motherfucker for trying to come up, spitting dirt on their name and shit, man.
We don't do haters.
That shit grimy.
We in the trenches.
Even if my podcast don't take off as fast as her taxes shit take off, I still want to see her grow. I'm still gonna post about it. She's still gonna have my clientele. I'm still gonna send her clientele. That's just, you can't be hating on nobody just because they business might be doing better than your business. It's different algorithms, it's different things. She's doing taxes and other stuff. I'm doing a podcast.
Of it. I'm doing taxes in the season of it. So another thing too is that, like,
ain't no season for podcasts other than like COVID, because everybody at home sitting on their ass watching TV. But you know, I think I missed I think my podcast could have blew up. I would have started during the beginning of the pandemic when everybody was at home, versus now, like the pandemic, like in Texas, they done lifted the mask requirements and all this shit. So people really finna start going back up and out. So I think I also caught it at the best time, because everybody who watches my podcast, at least I know it's not because they're bored. It's not because they're at home and don't have nothing else to do. They want to hear my content. They want to know what the hell what I have to say. They want to formulate an opinion. They want to argue back with me. Whatever it is, people want to come onto the podcast. So to me, it's a blessing in disguise.
It is. And honestly, I don't think you missed your time, man, because when the pandemic first started, to be real, it kind of like, at least people in my circle, like, they was doing everything but watching content. Now people in my circle are actually sitting down watching the content, actually respecting the rules. So I guess it all depends on what's happening in your community, because there's a lot of people that now their jobs are closing and now they're forced to stay home. So
yeah, because peak season and shit is over with. So a lot of people during peak season, when COVID shut a lot of jobs and shit down, but during peak season, like Amazon, Walmart, and all that, they hired a lot of people.
But
now people, I was just so grateful that shout out to my cousin again, who helped me get Amazon to where I could go in as a blue badge to where my job wouldn't be affected whether or not it was peak or not. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of people only do temporary, and they lose their job as soon as peak season is over with. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? I just feel fortunate and I'm blessed, and that's why I'm not trying to, quit Amazon right now. I just want to get my podcast up and out there, because it's a lot of people who could use that Amazon job. It's a lot of people who don't have no money, and they definitely don't have enough passive income or even unemployment to take care of their bills.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I would want to do and shit like that. I want to make sure that I at least help somebody come up on Amazon, so I can feel like I left Amazon, but that person took my place. You know what I'm saying? That way I don't feel like I didn't take an opportunity from somebody, because I'm trying to do something else. Right.
Definitely.
So,
I definitely agree.
That's just been real interesting. It's different. It's nice to see different point of views. It's different. It's nice to see that I ain't been the only one going through shit. I ain't the only one trying to start some shit up. It's a lot of people out here trying to do things. They just don't know how. They don't have the support. They don't have the tools. So even with my podcast, I ain't got all the answers. I ain't got all the tools. But having Lacey come on my podcast is giving me so many different ideas, different ways to approach things, different ways to think of things. You know what I'm saying? So that and in its entirety is better than me making $150 a day. She paid me by giving me her wisdom, something that I can learn. I did not come in this podcast and think that I was gonna know everything. I'm literally, y'all see me, I'm sitting here like,
listening,
shit, bro,
yeah.
for real.
But
like,
no, I'm listening to him too, because he's doing something that I am in the works of starting too. That's why I ain't gonna lie to you. We've been stressing this shit a lot, but when I tell you, time is money, because somebody's time also comes with somebody's knowledge, somebody's experiences, somebody's walk of life, and like that provided, like I said, Kyrie, even though we've all known each other a while, before y'all met me or before I met y'all all were walking different lives, and y'all all have experiences that y'all have took with y'all, as well as me too. I'm a little younger than everybody in here, so I take pride in the advice y'all give. I take pride in, honestly, everything y'all have to say, because people's time, people's experiences, that is money. Especially when you can learn from it.
Especially the way that some people had to get this time, or the way some people had not the time. Some people had to get the knowledge and shit. They had to go through hard shit.
They had to bear.
The shit that they, exactly. So that in itself was like, you gotta take that, like, you gotta respect what people done went through. You gotta respect me. I always feel like, even if I feel like a person ain't really talking about shit, I still owe that person the decent amount of respect to hear what they saying, because they probably went through, I don't know what the hell they went through to get the knowledge
to that point,
to say what they've been saying now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I might not agree wholeheartedly. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I might not agree with if I meet a Trump supporter or somebody like that, I might not agree wholeheartedly that Trump did everything. I agree that he was a good financial person to help boost the economy for America. But it's a lot of different things that I might not all the way agree. But just because I don't agree with your opinion doesn't mean that you don't deserve at least my respect to listen to what you have to say and try to understand what you have to say, because there's different things happen in your life to make you line up with the beliefs or values of this man that you follow politically. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Who am I to tell you that you're wrong when your life and stuff has put you on this path to where whatever this man is saying, you actually agree with, you understand what he's saying, you feel like he's talking to you. I don't feel like he's talking to me, but
right.
I can't take that away from you. So you at least deserve the amount of respect for me to listen to what you have to say and try to understand, versus just saying, no, I don't want to hear that, or trying to force my opinion down your throat.
But
That's what
say
this podcast will not be. I've been saying what this podcast will be a lot. This podcast will not be for people who try to force their opinion down another person's throat.
But I definitely say too that the courtesy and the respect you give to, like, you're a strong person to even give that courtesy and respect to a Trump supporter, because a lot of times they don't offer us that same courtesy back. So we say, okay, you are a white woman in America, this led your upbringing or
Karens.
Yeah, your parents or your experiences in life have led you to support this man, but rarely do they ever say, you know what, you're a black woman in America, you're a black man in America.
Because most of them turn into Karens or Phils.
Yeah. So they never are like, okay, I respect your experience because your experience is probably different than mine. They never are like that. So you are very, like, almost like, that's like a Jesus-like trait to turn the other cheek, because a lot of people
that ain't necessarily turning the other cheek. If I meet a Karen or a Dr. Phil or a Phil, then I'm instantly I'm not gonna tell you what you're saying is wrong. I'm gonna argue my point. But I just leave the situation. I don't want the situation to turn hostile. I ain't got time for you trying to call the police. None of that shit. I ain't got time to be trying to put my hands on you. Unless you just out of the way disrespect me, then, like they say, when it's up, then it's stuck, cause you finna go on for the ride of your life.
Man,
but
for real though, I definitely can agree though.
But I don't condone like violence and all that shit. I'm just saying, like, my mom always taught me that violence is the lowest form of communication. You get what I'm saying? So if the communication that we having between me and a Trump supporter turns to where it's violent, that means one of us showed poor communication, and that's why the situation got to where it got to. So before the situation gets to that, if I know that you don't have good or high communication skills,
or you won't even hear me out,
I'm just gonna, fuck off. You don't deserve no more of my time because what am I doing? I'm pissing myself off by sitting here listening to you.
And that's something
I can't control what the hell's coming out your mouth, but I can control what I do when I hear it.
You can protect your energy.
Mhm.
You can protect, and that's something
Protect
I be
the
wanting
vibes.
to preach because,
Talk your shit then.
like, let me get into it. I'm finna preach real nigga files. So, let me say this. Definitely, I'm the type of person, like, you could call me a social justice warrior. I'll fight. But at the same time, I've gotten to a point where, especially the school I went to a racist ass school. I dealt with that shit every day. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have it as hard as my brown skin and dark skin sisters, but I had that shit like, we all had to deal with it, even though, you know, theirs is worse, and I acknowledge that. I did have a privilege in that field. But dealing with a racist ass school, I have learned sometimes you will not change somebody's perception of the world. So if you cannot change it, do not frustrate yourself and do not disturb your peace to try to teach someone that doesn't want to be taught. If they want to be taught, there is a big difference. But a lot of them do not want to be taught. Please, 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 if you're fighting for anything, for racial rights, for LGBT, for religious rights, make sure you know when the battle is worth fighting, and always protect your energy, because literally it will fuck with you mentally, and that's just not a good grounds to have, to always be fighting in your head. So that's I will drop that gem on y'all. Business owner or everyday worker, whatever mindset I'm appealing to right now, protect your energy. Your energy.
This goes back off to what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, wisdom, knowledge, and opinions from a different generation. People younger. She's younger than me, but she just dropped some shit on me so goddamn cold that I had to sit back and think about it. I couldn't even come up with, oh, I agree. No, I had to sit back and
like,
I do agree, but
hit.
I had to let that shit settle down in my head. And that's what this podcast is about. That's what this podcast is gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So,
but yeah,
I just like, I can't even get it out now that the shit that you said, we're gonna have another conversation about this. I just gotta let this process, because I agree that you have to conserve your energy. Like, the energy that you put out in the world goes back to this word that y'all use, karma. Karma's a bitch.
Yes.
Yes. Karma's energy. Whatever energy you put out in the universe, gonna come back 10 times. And also, if you want, for my science buffs out there, for every action, there's an equal yet opposite reaction. Come on now.
In science, we call it reaction. In the streets, we call it karma.
You feel me? So,
come on.
Whatever you go out there and put out there, it's going to come back at you 10 times harder than what you gave it out. So if you throw out there speaking good and positivity,
and
God's going to bless.
That's
where blessings come in at.
That's where you get individuals like us. Because we don't all got it together at all. But when I tell you, when I finally changed the path of my life I was leading, and I finally like spewed out so much good energy, cleansed myself of all the negative, bad shit I was holding on to, I have been more blessed in a fucking deadly pandemic than I've been in my 17 years of living. This year, even though it has its hardships, I have been more blessed because of the energy I have put out in the world, and it's been returned back to me. And this is not to be on no be positive type shit that's just like,
it's on the
that's not helpful.
Fuck the pandemic, we love us a drought, like my boy Little Baby said. We not letting shit stop us. I agree. Like, I've been more blessed during this pandemic. I've lost a lot. Right. I've also gained a lot. I've also lost and regained a lot. You get what I'm saying? So
like, that shit came back to me
in
different ways.
When I fucked up. I've done some shit that I ain't supposed to did and shit. And when I almost lost that shit turned on to a deeper point, and it elevated me to a deeper level as a man. Mm-hmm. The shit that I almost lost, the shit with my mom, you know what I'm saying, bumping heads with my mom, actually taking time to see what this is my gem for y'all for the day. when it comes to parents, and parents, this is for you too, because it goes both ways. For kids, you have to see your mom as a woman as well. You have to see your father as a man as well. Parents, you have to see your kids not as only your kids, but as young men and young women
in the world.
Because they're not just your kids, they're their own individual being. My mom, she's her own individual being. She had a life before I got here. And I had a lot, and I have a life outside of her. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take that away, and I promise you, if you take that information and look at your parent as a woman, you will understand a lot of the shit that she be saying to you is coming from a woman's point of view. You'll see her as she's a woman, and this is why she thinks the way she thinks. Not, oh, she's my mom, she's just getting on my nerves, she's trying to bust my chops. Yeah, she's a woman too. You have to understand, women are moody creatures too. So don't think it, you know what I'm saying? So that's my gem for y'all. She dropped the gem, they're my gem for y'all. Y'all have to look at your parents, and parents have to look at their kids as different from their titles. You can't look at mom as mom all the time. You got to look at her as a woman too. Especially if you're a daughter, you will understand your mom a lot more because you now see her as a woman, and you put yourself in her shoes as a woman. How would you react? And some of the times you'll find out that you will probably react the same goddamn way.
If not worse.
This don't work for every goddamn mama. Some mamas just goddamn stuck up, don't want to change, and are very goddamn toxic.
And then that's not applying to the people that have toxic moms. So if y'all feel like we're just trying to tell you to just be one with your mom, that's not what we're trying to say. But if you know you do have a good mom, but she just getting on your nerves, she just nagging, or dad,
it's coming from a place of love.
You could throw dad in there too. Just to build off of what Kyrie said, I know we getting on time, but just to build off of what he said, honestly, you're right. You have to take yourself out of a situation, and this can apply to broader situations.
Take yourself out
of the picture frame. Take yourself out of the situation and view it as a third-party viewer. When you have that, you provide yourself with a broader perspective and you understand the situation. So it could even be like friend-wise. Let's say you're best friends with somebody and that best friend gets in an argument with someone. You take yourself out the situation. Oh, this isn't my best friend. You notice your best friend they probably wrong. Or they probably right. Yeah. But you can't see it that way.
Because that's my best friend and my best friend. You know what I'm saying?
But all
that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Can't see things. You can't see the forest for the trees if you're a part of the forest.
Yeah. And to piggyback off what she said earlier, the same way you have to pick your battles, this applies the same way because some of y'all have to pick your parents. Like, you can't do this with just, like I said, if your parents just toxic and there is no way of getting around them, there's no way of understanding them because they shit just don't make sense. You got to pick and choose your battle. You also got to pick and choose your parent. Some of y'all can't take this advice with your parents. Some of y'all just have to love your parents from where you at. And for the parents, sometimes you just have to love your kids from where they at. Because parents ain't always at fault. It's the kids' fault sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes kids just fucking, we don't give a fuck. We just don't.
We do dumb
we care
shit.
about what we care about, and we don't give a damn what our mom and them trying to tell us. You get what I'm saying?
But when you realize it is coming from a place of love and a place of experience, like we were saying earlier, once you realize people are not just talking to talk and they're talking from experiences in their life, you'll start to understand people try to give you gems every day.
Yeah.
And that can be through your parents, siblings, family, friends, grandparents.
God dropped acorns. He tell you what to do and not to do every day. He just drop a little acorn. He might send it through a stranger. Hey man, I think you should do this, or give you some advice on some shit that you was just going through in the morning. He was not there at all. That's God talking to you.
But because we have these preconceived notions of this is my mom, this is my dad, this is my sister, this is my friend, or this somebody that don't even know me, you don't take that advice, take that gem serious. But in hindsight, it's really speaking to your situation. So,
but
amen.
We thank y'all for joining us for this podcast and shit. You know what I'm saying? We getting cut on time. I know she got shit she got to take care of. I got to help do some shit in the house and shit with my mom. But as always, y'all, I want to thank Lacey for coming on to the Wave Podcast. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all. For y'all who don't know, this has been a Wave Podcast, also known as A Wise Ass View. This will be uploaded on in a couple days, you know what I'm saying? As well as the audio, you know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, I also have an audio platform for y'all to listen to if you can't watch the video. This has been a Wise Ass View. Peace.